हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। आज मैं आप लोगों को मॉडल्स ऑफ हेल्थ साइकोलॉजी में एक मॉडल बताऊंगी जो इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी मॉडल है एंड दिस मॉडल इज नोन एज द बायो साइकोसोशल मॉडल ऑफ हेल्थ साइकोलॉजी. This model views health and illness behavior as products of biological characteristics such as genes, behavioral factors such as lifestyle, stress and health beliefs, and social conditions such as cultural influences, family relationships and social support. तो जैसा कि इसके नाम से ही सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी है कि दिस इज इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी मॉडल ऑफ हेल्थ साइकोलॉजी दैट interprets the illness and health of a person on the basis of biological factors, psychological factors, and social factors which are contributing positively or negatively to the overall health of the individual. ये जो बायोलॉजिकल फैक्टर्स हैं इसमें आपके फिजिकल हेल्थ आता है, न्यूरोकेमिस्ट्री, मेटाबॉलिक डिसऑर्डर्स, इम्यून स्ट्रेस रिस्पॉन्स. Social and environmental factors include socioeconomic status, culture, family, and psychological में perceptions, coping skills, temperament, and so on. So the biopsychosocial model is an interdisciplinary model that looks at the interconnection between biology, psychology, and socio-environmental factors. The model specifically examines how these aspects play a role in topics ranging from health and disease to human development. The model was first advocated by George L. Angel in 1977 and has become an alternative to the biomedical dominance of many healthcare systems. George Angel suggested, Mr. George Angel, he suggested that this model, to understand a person's medical condition, it is not simply the biological factors to consider, but also the psychological and social factors. According to Angel, there are so many diseases which are not explained in isolation. For example, only biological factors are not sufficient to explain the overall etiology of that disease, or only psychological factors, or only sociological factors. So there are so many diseases which are the interactive result of biological factors, psychological factors, and sociological factors or social factors. So George Angel suggested this model to explain all those diseases which are the interactive result of all these factors. Now, first of all, this is very necessary to understand what do you mean by the biological factor. Biological factors are all those factors which are inherited from one generation to the another, and it includes physical structure. Physical structure is always hereditary. Some people have genetic tendency to grow taller, while some people have genetic tendency to become a dwarf or short-heighted. Sex, gender is decided right at the time of the conception. Intelligence, ductless gland, that is endocrine system, nervous system, and body chemistry. These things all together form the biological and hereditary factor, which are not acquired. Biological factors are always innate factor that are inherited from the parents to the offsprings. These factors are never acquired factor. For example, if we take the example of sex, male and female, so the sex of the child is decided right at the time of the conception, whether the fertilization is done with the X chromosome or Y chromosome. So this is an innate factor. This cannot be acquired. So all biological factors are innate in nature. Then psychological factors, thoughts, emotions, and behaviors such as psychological distress, fear, avoidance, belief, current coping methods, and attributions. Psychological factors include everything which determine our schema, all the information that we are getting from our environment that contribute to the total schema of an individual comes in the category of psychological factors. And on the contrary of biological factors, psychological factors are always learned factor. They are acquired. A children learns some experiences from his environment. For example, Perception. Perception is what? We perceive any object on the basis of our past experiences. For example, there is a neutral object, but if you associate some negativity or negative feeling towards it, that neutral stimulus becomes the negative object. In the same way, if you ask someone your experience about an elephant, so if that person is having some pleasant past experience with the elephant, he will report pleasant feelings or pleasant affect, positive affect for the elephant, and vice versa. So all our perceptions are learned. They are learned from our past experiences, the information that we are gathering from our environment, our learning process, what we are learning through trial and error, through insight, whatever we are learning is acquired. Our attitudes and belief, these are also learned behavior. Whatever we are forming opinion about someone, it is also based on our experience with that particular individual and our motivation. This motivation may be intrinsic or extrinsic. So all these factors which are learned in nature, which are acquired in nature, come under the category of psychological factors. Third factor are the social factors. Socio-economical, socio-environmental and cultural factors such as work issues, family circumstances and benefit, such as economic benefit, financial benefit and so on. So if we see it on large, we can classify into this into three categories: family, reference group and role and status. Family is what? Family is the first school of the children. All the education which he receives, it is the family which is the first school of the children. Reference group is that group to which we refer, to which we belong. It's called our reference group. We all follow the norms and values of that particular group to which we belong. That is why this is called as the reference group, the group to which we refer for our behaviors. Roles and status are also determined by the society, by the culture in which we live, in which we survive. So all these three factors, family, reference group, roles and status, combinedly contribute to the social factors. So biological factors, which are innate factors, psychological factors, which are acquired factors, and social factors. These three factors all together contribute to the causes of a certain disease that adversely or positively affect the mental or physical health of the individual. This model is commonly used in chronic pain, with the view that the pain is a psychophysiological behavior pattern that cannot be categorized into biological, psychological, or social factors alone. There are suggestions that physiotherapy should integrate psychological treatment to address all components comprising the experience of chronic pain. So this is chronic pain is one of the example of the disease which is treated under biopsychosocial model, because pain is always having a psychophysiological behavior pattern. That means it is having some psychological basis that can have impact on the biology of the individual. So chronological pains, what is the meaning of chronological pain? The pain which is recurring in nature causes the chronic pain. For example, if we are having pain in finger today, this will not come under the category of chronic pain. If my pain in finger persists and it recurs repeatedly from time to time, it will come under the category of chronic pain. So chronic pain follows the psychophysiological behavior pattern, and that could be dealt with the help of biopsychosocial model. This is the pattern of chronic pain. This is a cycle. Now this cycle of chronic pain can be explained by this thing. There are a lot of problems which are contributing to the chronic pain. For example, worries about employment, general health worries, work cover worries, medication worries, family and relationship worries, doctors and hospital visits, lack of employment. So all these factors generate the amount of anxiety in the personality of the individual. And these anxieties lead to the sleeping problems. What is the meaning of sleeping problem? The problem which are persisting in our personality, but they are not in the active mode, but they are still there in our personality. And then not coping, the person is not able to cope up with all these situations, and then the result of this is the increased pain. This is the cycle of chronic pain. Here it is noticeable once we are able to break this cycle. For example, if this cycle is break from here, or we are able to break this cycle from here, so we are able to break this chain of this whole circle of the pain through our coping skills. Here it is mentioned that when we are not able to utilize our coping skill to get rid of the chronic pain, only then this cycle completes. If we are able to break this chain, if we are able to break the cycle from here or from here or from here, the chronic pain will be distorted. So in case of chronic pain, we are able to diagnose a person's treatment by biopsychosocial model. So this is the cycle of chronic pain, which is elaborated in this way. This is the chronic pain model. The pain starts from outside environment, then pain behavior occurs. It leads to suffering, then emotions related to these sufferings, and then thoughts, pain sensation, and it finally leads to tissue damage. So the model of the story is that all we are getting from our environment, and these psychological factors are not only consequent, they are contributing to the biological damage, because this pain behavior ultimately resulting in tissue damage. That is, psychological factors are contributing to the biological malfunction. So this is the chronic pain model, which can be interpreted through the interaction of biopsychosocial model. Now there are some basic assumptions of biopsychosocial model. First assumption is that individuals should be held responsible for his or her health. This is very important and prime assumption of this model, and this is the universal truth that everybody is responsible for his own destiny, for his own health. Whatever is our lifestyle, our health is, our psychosocial health is determined by our lifestyle, how we behave, what is the level of our physical activity. All these things determine what is the level of our psychophysical health. Second is the whole person should be treated. For example, behavior change, change in belief and coping strategies, and compliances with medical recommendations. So the person should be treated as a whole. The focus is the whole person treated, not just their physical illness. The person is therefore responsible for their treatment, taking the medicine or changing their behavior. This is also very important, because supposing we go to the doctor and the doctor prescribes us medicine. Now, this is up to the patient as to what extent he is doing the compliance of the advice of his medical practitioner, or the doctor, or is the family doctor. So it all depends upon the nature of the patient and the motivation level of the patient, that how much he is obeying, or how much he is stick to the line of treatment. If he is following the medical treatment, or he is also involved in some time of physical activity, some time of types of yoga, meditation, along with the medication. So the combination of medical treatment along with the psychological therapies may be more fruitful. So it is the person whose behavior is responsible for his treatment. So health and illness exist on a continuum. Individual progress along this continuum from health to illness and from illness to health. So if we suppose that there is a continuum, so we can assume that on the two poles of the continuum. One pole consists of the health and the another extreme of the pole consists of the illness. And depending upon the behavior of the individual, the person moves to and forward from the health towards the illness continuum and vice versa. Fifth assumption is the focus is on interaction between the mind and body. This is the interdisciplinary model. So obviously it focuses on the interaction between the mind and the body. Sixth factor is psychological factors are not only consequent, but they are contributory factor to all stages along the continuum from health to illness. That I have explained you already. For example, health, the perception of pain is a psychological factor. Supposing a person is very stressed and he is not able to cope with the particular situation by using his coping skills, this consistent level of stress will result in the pain, and this pain will ultimately result in the tissue damage. So these psychological factors are contributing to the biological damage or biological malfunction. So psychological factors are not only consequent, they may also act as in contributory factors. Now we have to evaluate this biopsychosocial model. So first of all, we have to consider its strength. The strength is, number one, it improves patient satisfaction, better adherence to prescriptions, more maintained behavior change, better physical and psychological health. Since the patient is directly involved in the treatment process, that is why his personal satisfaction is obviously more than the treatment line in which he is mere the passive victim. That is why it improves patient satisfaction. Number two, development and application of techniques to reduce health risk behavior. Number three, reduce multiple visits and admission into hospital. Number four, individuals with health challenges are acknowledged to be active participants in the recovery process and good health rather than mere passive victims, because they are actively involved in their treatment process. Now we also have to mention limitation of biopsychosocial model. Number one, this is very time consuming and expensive. Number two, it requires more information to be gathered during the assessment about an individual's socioeconomic status, culture, religion, as well as psychological factors that might affect the individual's condition. Why it is time consuming and expensive? Because this is an interdisciplinary or eclectic model. In this model, we have to acquire the biological knowledge, the psychological factors, and the social factors which are contributing to the bad health of the individual. So the process of gaining information is 3 times more than any other model. That is why this is very time consuming and expensive. And there is a lack of theoretical basis of biopsychosocial model and scientific evidence to support the model. This is very important because only Angel has proposed this model for the chronic pain, because he realized that chronic pain is that type of disease which is having psychophysiological pattern behavior. So he realized that the treatment of chronic pain is not possible only through medication or only through by applying some psychotherapy. So it can be treated along with the combination of medical treatment along with the psychotherapies. So this is an eclectic type of treatment. So this was the theory, this was the model proposed by Angel, which does not have any theoretical support. Then the complex relations between causes and effects of biological, psychological, and social factors to influence the state of health and or occurrence of disease. There is a very complex relation. It can be underlined as this way. For example, this model, biopsychosocial model, is stating right from the beginning that any disease is the combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. So in this figure, it is also biological, psychological, and social, but here biological factors are contributing maximum, while in this case, biological factors are contributing minimum. In this case, medical treatment would be more effective rather than in this case. So this is very difficult to identify among all these three factors, which factor is dominating the causes of the disease. For example, in this type, biological factors and psychological factors are not that much important. In this case, social factors are contributing majority to the causes of the bad health. So this is very difficult to identify what is the ratio of biological, psychological, and social factors which are contributing to the bad health of the individual. That is why this is very difficult to assess. That is why this is very difficult and very time consuming and expensive process of the treatment. So this was all about the biopsychosocial model. These are the all references of the text and the figures. Thank you.